All right, so I'm unfortunately I couldn't make it on Monday, but I'm glad to be with you again on Wednesday. Um, the first question was, how do you evaluate a function? Okay, so this is one of the things I have on my YouTube channel, and it's you will always have this on every GED exam: how to evaluate an algebraic expression and how to evaluate a function. So first of all, let me open up the study guide and I'm gonna go down to functions. And this is the study guide provided by GED. Okay. Let's do some examples. Let's see. Well, let me find an example. And you can see my screen, correct?
Yes.
Okay, there we go, right there. Okay, so let me make this nice and big here. Why is it not moving? Oh, there we go. So one of the biggest mistakes people make, and I can tell you this right now, the GED will use negative numbers for you to evaluate an expression or to evaluate a function a lot of the time. Not every single time, but a lot of the times. Because how would I do this by hand? First of all, let's make sure we understand how to do this by hand. How will we do this manually?
I think anytime you see where you see a S, you plug in -8.
Okay, so we everywhere. So this f of x, this notation means the function f at point x. So whatever's in this parentheses is x. So basically x is -8. So everywhere you see x, you plug in a -8. So now, so x squared minus 3x, right? So I'm gonna do -8 squared minus 3 times -8, right? So now, -8 squared is -8 times -8, correct? Or is it? Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally tells us we must do exponents first. So I must do the 8 squared first before I do the negative. So this will be actually -64 plus 24, which is -40. Unfortunately, this is wrong. This is how most people would do this problem. And this is why most people get this problem wrong. This is incorrect. This is incorrect. So let me show you again how you are supposed to do it. Now, Darlene was 100% right when she said everywhere you see X, put a -8. This will be my suggestion to you. If they give you a negative number, put it in parentheses no matter what. So instead of x squared, so x squared minus 3x, what I'm going to do is in parentheses, I'm going to put -8 squared minus 3 times x in parentheses -8. What you should know now is -8 squared really means -8 times -8. Two negatives make a positive, so you get plus 64. -3 times -8 is a positive 24. So 64 plus 24 is 88. This is how you would do this manually. You can expect 2 to 3 problems, maybe even 4 problems where you have to evaluate a function or evaluate expression. Now, Keisha said, hold on, Mr. Tinsley, but I know it's a much easier way. You can do this on the calculator. Yes, it is. So if you notice, that took us about a minute into a minute and a half. What I'm about to show you is going to take you 15 seconds, literally 15 seconds. You must learn how to store a variable in your calculator. It's going to be 3 to 4 problems with this. So watch this. I'm going to grab my calculator. I'm going to put it on screen. Let me clear everything first, because when I maximize, I want you to see everything that I pressed, right? So what you have to realize, though, is this notation here. This means x is -8. If you understand that, when you use the calculator, that's all you have to do. -8 store x, enter. Then you plug in the expression the way you see it. X squared minus 3x, done.
See the screen.
Wow. That's what I'm telling you.
I
This
didn't
is
see
why
how
I made the
on the
ebook,
problem.
because now instead of you wasting 2 minutes, 3 minutes on this problem, you're done in 15 seconds. So let me maximize the calculator. Let me clear it.
Chat.
Let me maximize it so you can see exactly what I pressed. And this is why you practice.
Can't see anything.
This is why you practice. Okay.
Okay.
And that's how you store a variable. Now, let me show you something. Let me show you something else. So that's evaluating a function. So I want each of you to do is using your calculator, because each of you should have your calculator. I want you to use your calculator, and I want you to evaluate this function when x is -3. And when you're done, I want you to put your answer in the chat. And I'm only going to give you, oops, do I have my phone? I don't know if I have my phone. Oh, I have one of them. I'm going to give you 2 minutes. That's it. Matter of fact, no, I'm going to give you 1 minute.
Wait, let me get my calculator first before you
Get your calculator. You must have your calculator. Your calculator is going to be your best friend, I'm telling you.
All right, got it.
Someone just texted me, Lakeisha, you can't see the screen. Can anybody see my screen?
I can't see it.
I can see
You
it.
just can't see him doing the problem.
Can any else?
I can't see you doing the problem. Can you even hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
I can't see. I didn't see how you did the problem. It won't let me see it.
Okay, so are you on your phone?
I'm on my computer.
You on your computer? Interesting.
All
So you
I
don't.
see is where it say, for example, where you just did it with the square and the red, but I can't see how you did the steps or anything.
You don't see what is the value of f of x equal 3x squared plus 4 when x -3 right now on your screen?
Mm-mm.
So it must be something. Hit Alt Tab. So hold Alt, hit Tab one at a time to see if you can change what's shown on your screen. Hold Alt and then hit Tab one at a time. You'll hit Tab and you'll see it change. See if you can see the screen.
It's got me back to the Zoom to join a meeting. I might need to just do it on my phone.
Oh, you might have to log out and log back in. Can everyone else see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, so everyone else can see my screen. So you might either log out, log back in, or you might have to get on your phone. So, okay, I have 3 answers in the chat. I'm sorry. Okay.
Oh, and let me see if I can write my answer.
Okay, now what? Either -77, -23, 31, or 85. Okay, Bridget, you just sent your answer to everyone instead of to me. Now everyone sees.
I don't know how. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
How does just send it to you?
Yeah. Instead of saying to everyone, just hit that drop down arrow and change to me. Change to my name. So.
Got it.
I think everyone has it right. 31. Okay. Now, using your calculator. Let me just show it real quick. I'm gonna clear everything out. And what x is -3. So -3, store x, enter, 3x squared plus 4. 31. Now you should have been able to do that in seconds. Hopefully you were able to, but that will come with practice. Now I'm gonna go a little bit harder. Okay, I'm gonna do another one real quick. And first of all, we're gonna do it by hand, and then we're going to do it with the calculator. So I'm gonna show you that when you do it by hand, you may make a mistake. So let me see if we can do it. Let me see if I can find it first. Hold on. Where are you? Can everyone see that problem?
Yeah, yes. I can see it on my phone.
Okay. What is the value of 36x minus 8y squared when x equals 3 and y is -6? Hold on, Mr. Tinsley. They got 2 variables. Yes. So the GED either likes to use variables a and b or x and y. Okay, those are all the variables I've seen. So you should be able to store each of those variables with the calculator. And you should be able to get this answer. So again, I'm gonna give you 2 minutes for this one. A is minus 288, B is minus 180, C is 1200, and D is 3600. And I'm going to set the timer for 2 minutes.
Okay, so where we put the answer?
Oh, you're gonna send it to me in the chat.
Okay, let me send it. Okay.
Oh, that's Bridget. You finished already?
Yes, if I
Well,
got it right, yeah.
Well, that calculator must be your friend.
No, I didn't do it through the calculator.
Okay,
And I might
okay,
have got it wrong, so.
okay. We'll see what it is. I don't even know what it is. Let's see. But that's good. So first of all, what you should be able to do is do them manually. You should be able to do all these problems manually. What the calculator will do, it will add efficiency, it will add speed, it will add accuracy. When you get to your exam, if you're used to using that calculator, a lot of these problems will be done much faster. Because this problem by hand could be a little tough, but we'll see. So
Right.
Bridget, let me see what the answer is real quick. Let me do it real quick.
Mhm.
Let me do it. Okay, Miss Coleman, I have your answer. Bridget, I have your answer. So we're waiting for Lakeisha and Darlene.
I can't send the answer because I didn't get to see how you did the example for the first problem.
Okay,
So
well,
I
can you
don't
do
really
it by
know how to
can you
work
do
it.
it by hand?
No.
Okay, so I'll make sure I do
Oh.
it by hand first. And what most people don't realize is how fast your time goes when you're taking this exam. It's so important that you time yourselves when you're doing these problems, because believe it or not, 2 minutes is already up. You got about 10 seconds left. That's it. And then I'm gonna go over it. Okay, so first of all, X is 3, Y is minus 6. So everywhere you see X, you're gonna put 3. Everywhere you see Y, you're gonna put -6. So 36X, 36X means 36 times X. So 36 times 3 minus 8Y squared. Remember I told you if it's negative, put in parentheses. So -6 squared. The biggest mistake people make is not putting that negative in the parentheses. So we have 36 times 3. Does anybody know what 36 times 3 off the top of your head is?
What is it? 108?
108. What you should have said was 36 is made up of 30 and 6, and multiply each of them by 3. Okay, you want to do mental math as much as you can. Add those together, you get 108. Why? Because the more you do mental math, the more confident you will be. Okay, now you can still use your calculator. 36 times 3 is 108. So we got -8. What is -6 squared?
36. I mean, yeah. Yes, 36.
Right, because -6 squared is -6 times -6.
It's
2
36.
negatives make a positive. 6 times 6 is 36. So we got -8 times 36. Again, what's -8 times 36? Well, 36 can be broken down to 30 and 6. We're going to multiply them by 8, or -8. And you should be able to do both of those in your head. 8 times 3 is 24. Add your 0. 6 times 8 is 48. And a positive times a negative is a negative. So if you add both of them together, both of them together, you get -288. So you got 108 minus 288. So your answer is, -180. That's how you would do that manually. Okay, you will have at least 4 of these problems. In word problems, explicitly straightforward, you're going to have at least 3 or 4 of these problems, guaranteed. Now, okay, how are we doing the calculator? Let's go. All right, so let me put my calculator on screen.
Yeah, I don't know how to do it on the calculator. I know how to do it in my ear. Okay, let me write this down.
Okay, first of all, we're going to store 3 as x. So 3 store x, enter. Y is -6, -6 store. Now this time, in order to get to the variable y, we have to hit the variable button twice. Press enter. Then you just plug it in the way you see it. 36x minus 8. Since we got to get the y, you hit the variable button twice and then squared. Done. 15 seconds.
Oh,
Done.
wow. Okay,
Yes.
you lost me. You can hear me?
Say that again.
Can you hear me? I say I'm lost.
You have your calculator?
Yes, I have my
Okay.
calculator.
You see those buttons right on the screen. So that's what we're going to start. Say, so hit 3, then hit store. Then you hit your variable button one time. You'll see X on the screen. Press enter.
Okay.
You're going to hit your negative next to enter. You're going to press the number 6. You're going to hit the store button. And just like you see on the screen, hit the variable button twice because it will change from X to Y.
Okay, I got that.
Then press enter.
I did, and I got negative.
What did you say?
I got -3.
No, you shouldn't have got an answer yet. You should see 3 store X. You should see 3 on the side. Exactly what you see on the screen. When you hit -6 store Y, you should see -6. And we didn't put our expression yet. All you did was store the variable. So the only thing you should see on your calculator right now is 3 and -6 on the right side.
Oh, okay.
Is that all you see?
Yes, I did something wrong because underneath my 3 storage X is ANS. And then I put -6 stored my Y.
So that means what you did was this. Very important for you to understand. And I need everybody to listen right now. This is very important. What she did was she saw -6. So she hit this minus sign right here.
Yes.
If the expression or if the expression starts with a negative, you must use this negative near enter. Okay. What happened was when she hit the subtraction sign, it took the previous answer. Remember, this calculator stores your previous answer. So if you need to use it again, you are able to. What she did when she hit this subtraction sign, it automatically took her answer from previous. Okay, when if an expression starts with a negative or is in parentheses, you use the negative next to enter. So if you have this, you're going to use the negative near enter. If you have this, you're going to use the negative near enter. Does everybody understand that? Very important. So now, what do I mean by that? What's the difference, Mr. Tinsley? Let me show you. Watch this. So as I stored both my variables, if you notice, as I started typing in, I put 36x, so 3, 6. I hit my variable button for the x. But if you notice, this minus sign is a subtraction sign, this sign here. Because again, my expression didn't start with a negative and it's not in parentheses. So I'm going to use this subtraction sign. Okay. And then you're going to type in 8y squared. So 8, you're going to hit the variable button twice to get to your y. You're going to hit your x squared button, and then you're going to press enter.
Got it. I got -180. Yep.
-180.
You said about me in here yesterday.
So one of the things you can do is, it doesn't even matter. Even if you do the same problem over and over, you'll learn how to store the variables because you will have, listen to what I'm telling you. Listen, you should hear my voice while you're taking this exam. First of all, one of the things you should, if it's too hard, you should be going like this, relaxing. If it's too hard or too difficult, you think it's going to take too time, skip it, flag it for review. You better hear my voice in your ear while you're taking that exam. I'm telling you. All right, now, so let me see if I can find a more difficult one where you might say, oh my goodness, how would you do that, Mr. Tins? Let me see if I can find one. Evaluating a function word problem. Let me see if I can find one on the internet that we have never seen before. Let's see. Boom. Let me see if I can find one. I apologize, I didn't have one ready. But guess what? We learn on the fly. Oh no, that's we don't want that. We don't. That one is a little bit rough too. Oh, that's physics. Don't want that one. I need a nice one. Let's see if we can find. Oh my goodness, that's a little bit more difficult too. Let's see. Let me see if I can find one. Okay. All right, here go one right here. It's not really a formula, but let's see if we can understand it. So remember, a function, most of the time on the GED, you'll see f of x, g of x, or h of x, but they could be any variable. So this means this function m depends on this variable n. Models JC's fee in dollars for the nth drive on a certain day. What does M10 mean? What? What does that mean? Well, they're telling you what the n means. So that 10 means the 10th drive. Okay. So that's all that means. That function is very important. But I want to find a word problem that, let me see if, hold on for 1 second. Because I know I have one. Hold on for 1 second. Let me stop sharing my screen for 1 second. Let me see if I can find it. I've been tutoring so much this week with so many different things. Statistics, trigonometry. Let's see if we have it here. 1, 2, 2, 2, 3, 4. Sure, I think this is it right here. This is it. Nope. And someone sent this to me a while ago. Come on, where are you? I might have to make one up. I would hate to right now, but there we go right there. There we go right there. I found you. There we go right there. All right, let me share my screen again. So there's a problem somebody sent to me. It says the function f of x is equal to 2.15 times the quantity of 2x squared minus 4x minus 6 models the cost in dollars of a rug with x feet. What is the cost of a rug that is 9 feet wide? So it is an answer selected. I'm not sure if that's right or not, but what are we looking at? Does anybody like this problem? If you read this problem, your head probably would explode, am I right? Because what most people make the mistake is, oh, this is a quadratic equation. It is a quadratic equation. It is a quadratic function. How do we know? Because 2x squared. Okay, so it is. But that's not what they want. The key here is they tell you. They say the function f of x equal 2.15 times 2x squared minus 4x minus 6. They give you the function. Remember, there's only 2 things on the GED they're going to ask you to do with a function. Is it a function or not? Is it a valid function? Or to evaluate the function at some point. Okay, so this models the cost. So this function is how you determine the cost. Okay, in dollars of a rug with x feet. So again, you could have a rug that's different, it has different widths, 5 feet, 9 feet, 3 feet. Again, but this is how they find the cost of that rug depending on the width. Does everybody understand that? In this question, do they tell you what the width is?
No.
No, they did not.
Okay, you sure about that?
Well, they gave you the answers.
No, read it carefully.
The width is X.
The width is X, but did they give you a number? So read this entire question and see if if you can determine.
It is 2.15. That's it right here. The whole, it say fx equals 2.15, 2x squared minus 4x minus 6.
Correct. Keep going.
Model the cost in dollar of a rug with a width of x feet.
Okay, keep going.
What is the cost of a rug that is 9 feet wide?
Okay. So did they tell you the width of the rug?
Yes, the width is X,
Which is what though?
which is the ABCD.
Nope.
Which
So-
is 9 feet wide?
Which is
9
9 feet
wide.
wide. So they gave it to you in words. And what they did here is they used the word width. Here they use the word wide. But you should know your vocabulary from an area of a rectangle. You should know length and width. You should know length is how long something is. And you
Right.
should know width is how wide something is. So they used varying vocabulary to say the same thing. So what they're really telling you is that the width is 9. Does everybody understand that?
Yes.
By
Yes.
telling you that the width is 9, they're telling you X is what?
9.
X is 9.
Right.
So now, if you know X is 9, what are you now going to grab? What are you going to open up?
That, yeah, it's storage 9.
Store
For
9. Hold
X?
on. Let me clear everything out first. So we're going to store 9. How do we store 9? Tell me how to do it.
9 storage X, enter.
Enter. So now we stored X. We stored 9 as X. Now, what is our function that we want to plug in? What is our expression or our function that we want to plug in?
The number.
2.15 parentheses 2 9 square. I mean 2x. Oh, 2 9, not 2 9.
Nope. Remember, understand what we're doing. We have already
Right.
stored X as
Right.
9.
Right. And so it's gonna already come up. Right. So square minus 4x minus 6.
And don't forget to close your parentheses. So
Right.
all we did was identify what X is. We
Right.
stored it in our calculator. And then we plug in the expression that we see exactly the way you see it. And now we're going to press what?
Enter and get
Enter.
your answer. Wow.
Stop playing. Stop
Yes.
playing. Stop
Wow.
playing. Let me maximize this so we can see it.
So
me
once we
maximize this so we can see it.
identify, once we find our X, we got it. Yes.
Well, that's if you practice enough and can recognize that. See, what
Right.
happens is most people, because they're given a word problem, get all flustered. What you have to understand is, and this is why I asked you that specific question. I said, do we know what the width is? Do we know what the width of this rug is? And most people said, no, it's X. No, they didn't. See, what they did was they set you up. They gave you the function and what the function is, because they had to describe what the variable stands for. No matter what an equation is, they must explain what that variable is. So that variable X is the width of the rug. But then the second part is that, what do they want to know? What is the cost of a rug that is 9 feet wide? Most people, because of that, don't know how to do this problem because they use width and they use wide. They're the same thing. Long length, width, wide. Got to know that. But you're going to have a problem such as this. We have to evaluate a function. And listen, when I'm telling you, this is an area you must know. You're going to have 3 to 4 problems. For example, let me find another one, another word problem.
What are these called, Mr. Tinsley?
Evaluating a function.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, this is a word problem. Okay, now we're going to do it by hand and we're going to use the calculator. Okay, so Tim is looking at 2 websites that allow customers to print their own designs on t-shirts. One website charges $24 per t-shirt plus $8 shipping. The other website uses the equation C equal 22N plus 12 to find the total cost C of printing N t-shirts. What is the difference in the cost of each website if Tim orders 10 t-shirts? Wow. Oh my goodness, Mr. Tinsley, I've been studying for months. I don't know what they're trying to say in this problem. So when you say that, when your mind starts speaking that negative connotations to you, you're going to take 5 deep breaths. And you're going to say something positive, or you're going to start here. What do I know? Listen to what I'm telling you. This is what's going to happen on your exam. You're going to see a problem like this, and you're going to say to yourself, doubt, fear, anxiety are going to enter your mind. Take 5 deep breaths, and you say, what do I know? What is given? What did they give me? What do I know?
I know that 20. I know that 24. A t-shirt is $24 each plus $8. So I know that's going to be $32 for one shirt.
Okay, so hold on. So remember, so let's find out what we given first. So we know the first website charges $24 per t-shirt and plus $8 shipping. What else do we know?
We know 22N plus 12. C equal 22N plus 12.
Okay, so that's the second thing that we know. So these are the 2 things we know. So the cost of the t-shirt, the cost that this website charges. So this is website number 1 is now number 1. This is number 2. We're going to put number 1 on this side, number 2 on this side. What else do we know? What do the variables stand for? What does C stand for?
22.
No. What do the variables stand for? C is the total cost. What else?
And N is the t-shirt.
N is the t-shirts. This is what's important. Identify your givens. So, for example, what you did was you said, hold on, 1 t-shirt is going to cost you $24 times 1 plus 8. That's what you said. But guess what? We're not trying to find out how much 1 costs. We're trying to figure out how many costs.
10.
10.
Okay.
Identify your givens and then identify what they want to know. They want to know the difference in the cost of each website if Tim orders 10 t-shirts. So that means N is equal to 10. Does everybody understand that?
Yes.
So the first website, remember, N stands for the number of t-shirts. So 24 times what?
Times 10.
Times 10
plus
8.
Plus 8.
The second website, what am I going to write?
22 plus 12.
No.
N plus 12.
What's N?
22 times 10.
22 times 10. Because N is the number t-shirt plus 12. Okay. So what's 24 times 10? So hold on. Let's pause. Mental math. So you're telling me, hold on. So you we pausing. You need to know how to multiply power of 10. You should know how to multiply any number times 10. All we got to do is add what to the end of the number?
Zero.
A 0. Y'all better stop playing. Take all them time to do 240, 24 times 10. You'll get me upset up in here. It's a plan. I told you I just got out the hospital. Don't get me upset now. So 24 times 10 is just 24 times 10. We're going to add a 0.
Plus 8.
Plus 8.
248.
Same thing here. 248. Okay. What's 22 times 10?
220.
220 plus 12 is what?
32. 232.
232. So the cost of the first website is $248. The cost of the second website is $232. But what do they want to know? The difference of the cost. So what operation is difference? Subtraction. What's 248 minus 232?
16.
16. Bam. So a problem that seemed hard was just evaluating the function. Where you're evaluating it at? N equal 10. But you had to understand, what did they do? They gave you one equation in words, $24 per t-shirt plus $8 shipping. So what did you have to do? What's variable? The number of t-shirts can change. That's why it's 24N. The constant is just your shipping, 24N. So if we wanted to do an equation, it would be 24N plus 8. The second equation is 22N plus 12. All we did was take this 10, plug it in here. Take this 10, plug it in here. So you can also use the calculator. How, Mr. Tinsley? The calculator doesn't have N. You're 100% right. You don't need to have N. We can use any variable we want, long as you know what it stands for. Watch this. And this is why I'm telling you, you need to practice with this ebook and practice. Watch this. 10 store X. Hold on, Mr. Tinsley, was N. Right. But a variable can change anything you want. Long as you know X stands for t-shirts. Watch this. The first equation was 24X plus 8. The second equation was 22X plus 12. Enter. Did I still get the same thing? Yes, I did. Now I just need to subtract the 2. 248 minus 232. Bam, done.
Beautiful.
Beautiful. And this is why I'm telling you, take the time to do those practice problems. So when you come to the GED Monday sessions, when you come to your one-on-one sessions, anything that you don't understand, you can ask me. You can send an email, you can send a text. But most of the problems, if you do the problems in that ebook, it will prepare you for any problem that you're going to get on this exam. Almost. Not every single one, of course, but a lot of them, as long as you have a conceptual understanding. But again, now I'm glad Latasha, I believe, asked that question, how to evaluate a function, how to evaluate an algebraic expression. So you'll have this video, plus you can go to my YouTube channel. I also have another video evaluating an algebraic expression or evaluating the function. You listen, I'm telling you, 3 to 4 problems on your exam. I'm telling you, that's one area. That's one of the most important areas. Linear equations are going to be about 7 to 8 questions. Anywhere between 6 and 10 questions. Evaluating the algebraic expression, evaluating the function is about 3 to 4 questions. So if you add linear equations, add evaluating the algebraic expression, evaluating the function, that's anywhere from 6 to 12 questions on your exam right there. Algebraic expressions is in itself another 3 to 4 problems. So those are the areas that's very important. So if you're going to spend time somewhere, spend time, make sure you study in those areas. Okay. So now let me ask you a question. I got a lot of questions this week on this type of problem. And so many people could not do this correctly. So it's not related to what we just did, but it is because it's algebra. And I just want to know how you would do this problem right here. How would you solve for x? Minus 2/3 x is equal to 10. Listen, I had about 4 to 5 people get problems like this wrong. I'm gonna put another one on here. They had this. Hold on. No, it wasn't that. It was -16 p equal 7, -7. Okay, so let's do these two problems. Again, knowing your algebra, okay, combining like terms, your distributive property, your exponent rules. But again, solving 1-step, 2-step, and multi-step problems are very important. So if I had -2/3 x is equal to 10, how would I solve that equation for x?
Flip it.
Flip it. What do you mean flip it? I don't know what you mean by flip it.
How you, what's that word? Where you put the 3 atop the 2, what they call it?
Reciprocal.
Right, I'm sorry, yeah.
Why do you multiply it by the reciprocal? Do you know why? Okay, watch this. Watch this. Watch this. I'm gonna do something. I'm gonna break this problem down into 2 phases, right? -2/3 x. What does that really mean? What it really means is -2 times x, then I'm going to divide by 3. Hold on, listen to what I just said. -2/3 x means I'm multiplying by -2 and then dividing by 3. So it's 2 steps. So the reason why, now let me ask you a question. What if I had this? -2x is equal to 10. How would I get x by itself? If I had -2x is equal to 10, how would I solve for x? What would I have to do?
Would you do a 1-step equation?
Yep, 1-step equation. What would I do? -2x equal 10. How can I get x all by itself? What do I need to do?
Add a 0?
Nope. Divide by what?
Divide by 3. By 2. -2.
Divide by -2.
Good one.
Okay. So because I divide by -2, those -2's cancel. You get x equal 10 divided by 2 is 5. A positive and a negative make a negative. So x is equal to -5. Everybody understand that?
Yeah.
Okay. My next question is, what if I had x divided by 3 is equal to 10? Oops, let me move this over here. Let me move this over here so I can separate it. What I'm actually doing is I'm doing the same problem in 2 steps. What if I had x divided by 3 is equal to 10? How would I solve that problem?
Would have to multiply.
Have to multiply because the opposite of division is multiplication. What do I multiply by?
By 3.
By 3. Whatever I do to one side,
You do to the other.
I do to the other. So those 3's cancels. You get x equal, and what's 10 times 3?
30.
Okay. So most people, the problem is most people understand doing that separately. But understand this, watch this. I want to show you something that's very important because a lot of people this week had this question. I had like 4 or 5 people had the same question. Watch this. So if multiplying by -2/3 is the same as multiplying by -2 and dividing by 3, right? What's the opposite of multiplication? The opposite of multiplication is dividing by -2. The opposite of dividing by 3 is multiplying by 3. This is where the reciprocal comes in. This is why you multiply it by the reciprocal, because you're doing 2 operations at the same time. So you're multiplying by -2 and then dividing by 3. What's the opposite of multiplying by -2? Dividing by -2. What's the opposite of dividing by 3? Multiplying by 3. So we multiply by the reciprocal. Now, what's also important is you must keep the sign as positive. So I must have a negative also. Okay, so now let's do it. The 3's cancel, the 2's cancel. I have x equal 10 times 3 over minus 2. What does 10 times 3 over minus 2? Well, that's 10 over 1 times 3 over minus 2. 10 times 3 is what?
30.
30.
1 times minus 2 is what?
-2.
-2. So x is equal to 30 over -2. And what's 30 over -2?
-15.
-15. Okay, let's check it to make sure. Let's check it to make sure. And this is one of the most important parts of math. I need to stress this. When you're studying algebra and you solve for a variable, you should be plugging it back in to check your work. So again, I'm gonna use my calculator because the calculator makes everything much easier. So let me erase all this right now so I can bring my calculator on the screen. I'll bring that problem back. I'm gonna bring my calculator on the screen. I'm gonna clear everything out. And I'm gonna store x is -15. -15, store x. I'm gonna type in my original equation. Because it starts with a negative, I'm gonna hit my negative near enter, hit my ND, 2/3, times x. Now, I forget what I had here. I've erased it. I think I said 10, right? It was equal to 10, right? I think I had 10, right? It was 10. I think it was, I'm pretty sure. Watch this. I'm gonna hit enter. Boop. I just checked my work, 10. I know I'm right. And this is how you practice doing the steps of algebra, checking your work, and using the calculator all at once. I didn't mean to erase that, I'm sorry. All at once. All right, let's try this next one. So the next problem was, I think I had -16p equal -7. What is the reciprocal of -16?
6, 1. 6 over 1.
6. What kind of 6 over 1?
-6 over 1.
-6 over 1. So -6 over 1 times -16p equal -7. Whatever I do on one side,
I do on the other side.
so I'm also going to multiply this by -6. Now let me ask you a question. Why did I put -6 over 1 over here, but on the right side I only put -6? Why not do the same thing? Why did I thought I had to do the same exact thing on both sides? Why on one side did I do -6 over 1? On the right side I did -6. Are they the same thing?
No, because you multiply on the other side.
I am multiplying, but is -6 over 1 the same as multiplying by -6?
Yes.
Yes, any whole number can be represented by improper fraction. So what I did here, the reason why I did -6 over 1, so you'll see that the -6s and the 1s will cancel. We're left with P equal, what is -7 times -6?
42.
42. Now, say if you weren't sure again, you want to use your calculator. So again, okay, so let me clear this out. Okay, well, I don't have P on my calculator. I'm gonna use X. 42, store X. Enter, -16. Now, here we use P, but since I have P on my calculator, I'm gonna use X, and I should get -7 is my answer. Here we go. That's how you check your work. Listen, one thing you want to be able to do on this exam is when they give you these word problems, because they're going to fluster you. I'm telling you, it's going to feel like a left hook to your chin. You're going to read some of these questions while you're taking this exam, and it's going to feel like somebody hit you in your chest, hit you in your chin, feel like your brain about to explode. What I want you to do is take those 5 deep breaths, identify what's given, identify what you know, identify what they want to know. If it's some type of formula, whether it's volume, surface area, equation of a line, go to your formula sheet. Okay, listen, if you bought the ebook, that means if they want to know the equation of the line, you should immediately go right to, oh, I know how to find the equation of a line, and plug those into your calculator. And these are the things you have to practice, so when you get to your test, you won't be flustered. You also want to remember that if it's difficult or you feel like you're going to spend too much time, listen, flag it, skip it for review. Mr. Crosby, how many problems did you skip initially?
I'll say I'll just take a guess at it. I don't know. I skipped at least probably 5 to 8, maybe.
5 to 8 questions. He's skipped 5 to 8 questions. I had somebody skip 14 questions before. 14 questions, because the most important thing is don't waste an exorbitant amount of time on problems. Because why? Easy, medium, hard. If it's difficult, you want to flag it for review and get to those next 2 problems, easy and medium, and do those. I had a person skip up to 14 problems and still score a 156, 150, some scoring a 150s. Now, that's not saying she left them blank. She skipped them until she finished the exam, and she had about 50 minutes still left. Then she went back to those problems and then spent the time on those. I'm not telling you not to do those problems. Just skip them for right now, finish the exam, and then come back to those problems. Also, next advice, if they give you multiple choice, identify what formula you need, plug those multiple choice in. Sometimes you don't have to do the algebraic computation. You can just plug the numbers in until you get your answer. Okay, so time is flying, so almost 7 o'clock already. Does anybody have any other problems? If you notice, I was going over statistics. I was helping some people with statistics. I was helping people all week. Oh, that's for you, Mr. Crosby, for your that what I downloaded for you for the electrician apprentice. So make sure you set that one-on-one for that, okay?
Yes, sir.
All right. Any other things people have problems with this week that they want to go over?
Yeah, I had a problem with the percentage on how to do discounts.
Okay, it was on Schoology?
Yeah.
It was in percents?
Yeah, I think I got a couple of those wrong.
Okay, let's see. I'm gonna open
Before
up
I
real
ran out
quick.
of time.
And again, don't get frustrated if you don't finish. The reason why I'm timing you is so you get used to it, so how fast you have to do a problem. If you don't know it, get in the habit of skipping.
Well, you know
coming
what? I
back to
think
it.
I kind of got mixed up on what you wanted me to do when you had when you had the numbers there to where to move the numbers to. That's where I got mixed up at. And then once I did it, I had to start all over, and then my time ran out.
Are you talking about powers of 10?
No, this was on the percent on Schoology.
Let me see if I can find it. I had so many people test this weekend, and because I wasn't really grading a whole lot, I graded most of them. Let me see if I
think
can
it was
find it.
discounts or taxes of a
Hold
percentage.
on, let me see. Control F.
I probably need both of them.
Let me see if I can find it. I'm sorry. Usually I have all this
It's
open
okay.
and ready.
It's all right. We'll do it on
Okay.
Monday.
There we go. Here we go. The percents pretest. Got you. Here we go. Let's look at it. Let's look at it right now. And this is why you practice. Okay. This is why you practice. Because you find the areas that you need to spend more time at. All right. So let's look at this. You mind if I put your test up?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. Boom. All right. So first of all, write percent as a fraction in simplest form. A lot of people have problems with that. It's that directions. Write each percent as a fraction in simplest form. No percent means out of 100. So 50% is 50 over 100. Reduce that to lowest terms. 50 in the 50 one time, 50 in 100 2 times. So what you should have put was 1/2. Okay. Now
Okay.
that's mental math. You're not gonna probably have a explicit problem like that, but that's something you should know how to do. All right, so let's scroll down to some of these word problems. I think, is this the one? You mean like this, right?
Yeah, but I think they were more of like, and I don't think it was this one. I think I did another one, but they were more like discounts, like
Okay.
somebody
All right.
went into the store and, you know, this was discounted off this price and.
Okay, let me go. So first of all, let me explain to you here why you were wrong. First of all, find 10% of each number. All you want to do to find 10% of each number. So understand what 10% is. 10% is 10 over 100.
Okay.
Reduce that to lowest terms, that's 1 over 10. So 10% is the same as dividing by 10. When you divide by 10, you just move the decimal one place to the left. So your answer, if you move the decimal one place to the left, 52.159. Went around to the nearest hundredths place. So the hundredths place is this 5. Look at the number to the right. Since that's 5 or above, that 5 becomes a 6. So the proper answer should have been the correct answer, should have been 52.16. You rounded off to the nearest 10th, not the nearest 100.
Okay.
Got me? Let me see if I can find the
I don't think this one was it. It was another one I did.
Yeah, I think it was the word problems. Let me find, because that's the pretest. Let me find.
The one I did, it had the matching on it.
The matching.
Matching the numbers.
Here we go. This had the
Not
matching.
this one.
This
Oh,
has the
yeah.
matching.
Okay,
Here
with
go
the
the
one
word problems.
with the one below that.
This one, 27.
No, it was another one after 10.
Oh, so they randomly
This
put them in
one.
order.
This one is what I did not know what you wanted me to do
Okay.
with these numbers.
Perfect. I love it. I love it. I love it. This is very important. Knowing this is one of the most skills,
And my time
especially for
ran out.
mental math, that you need to know. Fraction, decimal, percent, equivalence. So what you want to do here is, I gave you the percent, I gave you the decimal. I wanted to know the fraction. So what you should have said was percent is out of 100. So 5% means 5 out of 100.
So it's going to 0.05.
0.05, that's the decimal. But we want to change it to a fraction. But
So
that's
it's
not the
gonna be
lowest term.
120.
1 over 20.
Now I
So
didn't
here,
know how to put
1
these
over 20.
answers at the bottom.
Right, so here, so that's why it's 1 over 20. So you put a slash. So 1/20 for the fraction. So now in this second one, they also want a fraction, 10%. You should know 10% is
1/10.
1/10. The third one, they want to know the fraction.
Okay, hold
13
on.
hundredths.
Wait. For the first one for 120, where it says 1.1 at.
I don't
For
see 1.
the
No,
number,
no,
the
no.
number
That's
one is up top for the fraction for 1/20.
right.
Where
So this is
would
the
that
first
go?
one.
Is there a number that's going at the bottom or an alphabet? You see what I'm saying?
No. This is the problem. This is number 1, 2, 3. This is number 4. This is number 5. This is number 6. They're not part of the fraction decimal
Okay.
equivalent. That's what problem you're on. You got me?
Okay, that's where I messed up at.
Okay.
It's
So
not
here,
like I didn't know these. I just
so this
didn't know what
fraction
you
will be
wanted.
13 over 100. So here, this percent will be what? For number 6, what will be the percent?
30%.
30%. So for number 6, you will write 30%. Now for the decimal here, let's not do number 9. That's pretty easy. Number 10, what will be the decimal for 62.5% or 5/8? What will be the decimal?
0.62. No, you move your decimal 2 times to the left.
Okay, 1, 2. So what's my decimal?
So it'll be what? 0.0625.
0.625. Now, I see here a lot of people say 0.2625. Most of the time, I don't put the 0. So if you
Okay.
put 0.625, it'll probably mark it wrong because 0 is just a placeholder. You don't need a 0 because there's no whole numbers. So usually that's the correct answer, 0.625. So this is the third time I heard somebody say 0.625, which is still correct though. That's still correct. If you put 0.625, when I go over it, I would just have to change it to correct.
Okay.
Okay.
They'll put the points.
So let's look at some of these word problems. Let's look at this right here. let's look at some of these word problems real quick. Oops, let me make it bigger. And that's the last thing we're gonna do for this evening, these percent word problems. Now the answer is there, but I want to show you some different things and different skills that you can use for percent problems, right? It says a new TV costs $245. There's a 5% sales tax. How much is the sales tax? Is sales tax added on to your total price, or is it taken away from your total price? Added on. So the total price is 100%. The tax is 5%. 100 plus 5% is 105%. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Okay. What is 105% as a decimal?
1.05.
1.05. Now, what I'm about to show you, you're gonna be like, oh my goodness, don't tell me it's that easy. Watch this. Once you know it's added on, watch this. I'm gonna show you something. This is amazing. Watch this. 245 times 1.05. My answer is 257.25. Look at that. $257.25. Because you know it's added on. It makes it much easier instead of you doing 5%, because most adult education centers tell you to say 0.05, change 5% to a decimal.
Mhm.
Once you change it to a decimal, then times it by 245. Then once you get your discount,
I'll put on my shirt on.
I mean,
here.
once you get your 5%, then add that to 245. Well, why not do it in one step? Why not understand that if I got 5% tax, that 5% is added on to my total, so that's 105%. Change that to a decimal and multiply the original number times 1.05. Then you get your answer in one step, 15 seconds. Now, the same holds true for a discount. Let's look at this number 25. I don't know where I got this name from, but anyway, bought a pink jacket on sale. The original cost of the jacket was $250. That's what we know. She got a 60% discount. What did she pay for the jacket? So if the jacket was 100% and she got a 60% discount, what percent do I have to pay?
Hold on, what'd you say?
If the jacket costs $250 and you get a 60% discount, what percent do I have to pay?
140 or something, 150.
Nope.
Okay,
40%?
60% of 250 is
So
140.
let me I'm gonna make this simple for you. Watch this.
50 divided by 60.
If the 60% discount, right? So I got 100% of something, right? That's 100%. This is 60%, right? That's the discount. How much left do I have to pay?
$24.
24%? No. I don't say
40, is it 40%?
40%.
Oh,
Why?
okay.
Because the jacket cost is 100%. That's all of it. If there's a 60% discount, that means I only got to pay 40%. Watch this with the calculator. $250 times 0.4, because 40% is 0.4. How much do I have to pay? $100.
Okay.
I had
One
got
step.
106.
So remember, and that's the mistake that people make. So when most people do is they took, so this is what your teacher tells you to do. 250 times 0.6.
Yes, that's
That's
what
your discount. Then take 250 and subtract the 150. But you still get 100. If you understand the process of percentages, whether you add it or subtract it, then you can skip a step. For example, watch this. Let's do one more before we leave tonight.
Times
One more.
60.
Well, this is going to be on the test.
Oh, I guarantee you.
This
Percentages
is
guarantee
going to
you.
be on the
Here you go
test.
right here. Watch this. Let's see if we can. Maritza went out to eat with two of her friends. The bill comes to $28. They pay an additional 8% tax and left a 20% tip. What's the total cost of the meal? What? How do you figure that out? What? It's very easy. Watch this. The total for the total meal was 100%. Additional 8%. an additional 20%. Right? That's 128%.
Mhm.
Right?
Yeah.
Grab your calculator. $28 times 1.28. Done.
Mm.
Because what you have to realize is that 8% and that 20% is added on to the total.
Wow.
Now, that 128%, you change that to a decimal, that's where that 1.28 comes from. Now you got one step, and you're done. Okay, now watch this. Let me do one more. I shouldn't be showing you the answers, but one more.
You have, you have a part.
Jamie earns $350 a week. That's her gross pay. 20% is taken out for deductions. So if your check is 100% and they're taking out 20% for deductions, how much of your check will you receive? What percentage?
You said they taking out 20.
Mm-hmm.
And you got, hold on. I just tried to, do that.
Would it be 230?
I don't know. No, I'm not asking the answer. What I'm
Okay.
asking you is this. If your total is 350, which is 100% of your check, but they're taking out 20% for deductions, what percentage of your check do you still have?
99.
90, 70? Okay, I'm a little confused. Okay.
No, it's
All right,
80.
let's do it again.
350 times.
This is my check. It's 100% of my check, right? The
Uh-huh.
government just took 20%. How much do I have left? What percentage?
80.
80. So if you understand that, when you go to your calculator, all you're doing is taking that 350 and multiplying it by 80%. That's where the 280 comes from. That's the 280. It's 280. Now, what I'm saying is, so let me save this first. And let's do it how most of you have learned how to do it. Let me show you that first. Okay, let me show you that first. So I'm gonna take that 350, right?
Mhm.
And then 20% is taken out for taxes. So I take that 350 and I multiply it by 0.20, right?
Right.
That's $70. So $70 is taken out for deductions. Then you take your 350 and you minus 70.
Right.
You get 280. What I'm saying is, if you understand that I've taken out 20%, that means I still have 80% left. I'm just going to take my 350 and multiply by 0.80, which is 80%. So you can either do 2 or 3 steps, or you can just do 1.
Right.
But you're going to get the same answer. Now, with the calculator, you can use percentages too. So you can do 350 times 20%. You don't even have to know how to change it to a decimal. Look at that.
Right. That's easier to me.
Yeah.
So again, I just wanted to show you that because I've seen a lot of people have these issues this week. But again, what you want to do is this. We went over several things tonight. So when you watch this video, what you're going to do is, as you go to each section or whatever we was going over, you then go practice in Khan Academy, CK12, or Schoology until you got it. Then you move on to the next thing. Well, again, another mistake that people make are they're watching this whole video over again. No, watch one part, practice, get it down. Watch the second part, practice, get it down. Then go to Schoology, take some quizzes, take some tests. Go to Khan Academy, take some quizzes, take some tests until you got it. Then move on. And then also incorporate the use of the calculator. It will make your job a lot easier. Even with your percentages here. Remember, even if you do it by hand, practice with your calculator. 165% is what as a decimal? 1.65. What is that as a fraction? You can do all of these using the calculator. This way, as you're doing it, you're using a calculator and you become more versed and you become faster and you become quicker because you don't want to be on that test. Oh my God, how did I do that again? Oh, I can't remember. Oh, what did Mrs. Tennessee? No, you want to practice enough to when you get to this test, when they give you that improper fraction and they want you to change it to a mixed number and you say 28 over 10, you're gonna be able to say boom, boom, boom. What's that as a decimal? Boom. You want to be able to do those things quickly. Again, do I want you to be able to do it by hand? Yes, I want you to do it by hand. But as you're doing it by hand, practice right behind it, checking your work with your calculator. Because then when you take your test, I want you using your calculator as much as you can. Out of those 40 to 46 problems, you should be using your calculator on about 30 to 35 problems. I'm telling you. All right.
Yeah.
Oh, now, next week, okay, another area that I saw. So this upcoming Monday, another area, and I know we visited this several times, but I want to go over how to find the slope and y-intercept from an equation, from standard form and slope-intercept form. I had about 4 or 5 people have problems with that. And so what do I mean by that? For example, let me ask you a question. Is this in standard form? What is standard form?
Yes, it's in standard form.
This is in standard form. AX plus BY equals C. Is this in standard form?
No, it's not in standard form.
No, this is not in standard form. But can I change this to be in standard form?
Yes.
Yes, I'm going to take this value first and put it first, minus 2x. Then I'm going to take this value and put it next, plus 3y. This I'm going to remain the same. Now, this is standard form. AX plus BY equals C. That is standard form. Okay? That's one mistake people have been making. Y equal MX plus B. This is slope-intercept form. Is this in slope-intercept form?
Yes.
Yes. Your slope is 2. Your y-intercept is 3. Y equal minus 3 plus 2x. Is this in slope-intercept form?
No.
No. What do we have to do to make this in slope-intercept form? We're just going to change the order. So we're going to put the 2x first, then the minus 3. So y equal 2x minus 3. Now, this is in slope-intercept form. Your slope is 2. Your y-intercept is -3. I just wanted to say that because I saw a lot of people making small mistakes from the practice test where they had to manipulate the formula to put it in standard form or slope-intercept form. Any questions before we leave? Okay. Everybody have a good evening. I'm glad you can make it on Wednesday.
All right.
Lakeisha, don't hang up. I mean, don't end yet. I want to ask you a question.
Okay.
Good to see you, my bro.
Make sure you make that one-on-one with me, sir.
I got you.
Okay.
All right. Take it easy.